Jimmy the Brute Crute, man. He's fighting Sweet Dreams Jamal Hill. AJ, I'm worried about this matchup, my man. Jamal Hill is 6 months removed from an elbow dislocation on his power arm, brother. He's a southpaw. However, he does have he has success on both sides, orthodox or southpaw. If you remember his fight against OSP, he finished him basically in an orthodox stance right there. So he still has another hand he can rely on. I just don't think 6 months is enough time to really truly rehab an elbow dislocation. Even if it was a clean dislocation, I don't think it's enough time to rehab it, feel truly confident about that power. I don't think Jamal Hill's power arm will ever be the same, personally, but I don't want to be too down, man. Let's talk about it. Jimmy Crute, he's coming in at number 13 in the light heavyweight division, minus 180 favorite, plus 155 comeback for the 14th ranked Jamal Hill. AJ, man, like I said, I'm worried about this matchup. Do you think this was the right matchup to make? Do you think Jamal Hill should have taken this fight? This fight was actually supposed to happen, I think, a couple months ago, but he had to push it back, obviously, right? Do you think he's jumping in too soon? Do you think the UFC is trying to force his hand here? What do you think's happening?
Ah, man, when I saw this fight get made up, that's the exact thought I had. Is this fight's just a little too soon. I don't know a bunch about elbow dislocations, but if it's anything like a shoulder dislocation, once it goes out, it's a lot more prone to going out. We even saw it. I forgot who the fighter was. Was it Brandon Rivera?
Yeah, Royval.
Yeah, Royval, where his shoulder came out and they just popped it right back in. He was good to go. Yeah. You know that happens all the same time. That happens at Hill in this fight. It's going to be hard, man, because you got an absolute dog coming at you on top of Jimmy Crute. Yeah, I think he's taking. I mean, who's all to say? You know, he might have been already throwing that, had it in a couple arm bars if he's like Tony Ferguson, where he just doesn't care anymore. Doesn't, all that the scar tissue's gone. He doesn't feel the pain. That might be the case that's going on, and that the ligaments are holding still. But 6 months, it's a pretty quick turnaround.
I think so as well, man. And if you think about it, Paul Craig laid out the game plan for Jamal Hill. They said, Jamal Hill, he'll be the first one to tell you, hey, man, jiu-jitsu was my first martial art. But there's levels to jiu-jitsu. You can start out doing karate and then move on to other things, and your karate might not be at the same level as someone who just does karate all the time, right? It's just different. I think that Jimmy Crute, who already averages almost 5 takedowns per fight, is going to say, oh, I'm just going to take you to the ground and I'm going to submit you. I'm just going to, beat your face in. Jamal Hill has to do everything he possibly can to keep this fight standing. So this is another one of those where, off the bat, I have to lean Crute first because, listen, man, why are you going to bet on a fighter who's coming off of a major injury to his power hand and his best attribute is striking? I mean, that's just common sense, in my opinion. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, my God. But then again, you never know. Crazier things have happened. He said he could be like, listen, I still got that right hand. I'll knock you out with that one. It doesn't matter, man. Jamal Hill is one of the best to do it in terms of the stand-up right now as a young fighter, as an up-and-coming contender. But for Jimmy Crute, man, whose last loss was a TKO loss to the Lionheart, Anthony Smith, this dude's kind of been on a run. Other than that, man, he has big wins over Mikhail Aleksiejczuk, one of the best, I don't know if he's Polish, but he's a solid boxer out of kind of that area right there. He has a win over Paul Craig, the Bear Jew, and he submitted Paul Craig, man, 3rd round submission. Crazy. And he has a first-round knockout over Sam Alvey, which isn't as impressive these days. But you think about it, man. Sam Alvey has a chin, and to get him out in the first round is that's a benchmark. That's a hallmark right there, right? So, AJ, do you think that over-under on takedown attempts or takedowns in the first round, my man, for Jimmy Crute? We're getting what, 1, 2, 3? Do you think Jamal Hill can get up if he gets taken down? What do you think is going to happen here?
I'm thinking over 3, man. If Jamal Hill's able to stand up, it's going to be takedown after takedown after takedown, relentless from Jimmy Crute. It's the way to go, especially coming off because both of these fighters were technically injured in their last fight. I mean, It was a TKO win for Anthony Smith against Jimmy Crute in the last one, but really it was a doctor stoppage because Homeboy was willing to fight on even a gimp leg. So this dude, he's willing to go no matter what. And on that same fight, when he had the drop foot going on, Jimmy Crute, when he had the drop foot, he took Anthony Smith down twice, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been 3 times. Like it was crazy. Man. So the fact that he's able to do that injured, I think it's going to be a game plan from here on out, especially seeing what happened to Jamal Hill in his last fight. Yeah,
Jimmy Crute, I mean, I'm glad that you kind of pointed that one out, right? Because honestly, he was still fighting. Like, he was still game. He was like, bro, I'm still doing this, but when you have one leg, it's very difficult to, you know what I mean, try to make that endeavor happen, especially against a beast like Anthony Smith. But what is that? Is that the peroneal nerve? I think that's the nerve that gets hit when you get the drop foot right there, man. So same thing when Cheeto Vera did it to Sean O'Malley. You just lose complete sensation and control over that lower extremity, and that's it. So big bounce back time for Jimmy Crute, I think, in this one. Much less of an injury in terms of like real damage than what Jamal Hill suffered. So, listen, man, it's hard to break down this fight because I just don't know if Jamal Hill's healthy, man. But if he is, we know he mixes it up to the head and body very well, man. He's able to walk down dudes like Klitschko, OSP, man, you know what I mean? Stosic, like he's able to walk these people down and really bring it to them. But, well, let's go back to the Paul Craig fight just really quickly, my man. When Jamal Hill got taken down and Paul Craig basically grabbed his arm. So Jamal Hill was on his back, right? That's a preferred spot if you're a BJJ practitioner. Paul Craig was able to snatch the man's arm, get him in that arm bar, arm triangle type, transition from the top. He didn't really show off a great jiu-jitsu prowess right there, man. And I'm no jiu-jitsu expert, man, but even in class, the classes I'm going to, right? It's like, that's kind of like, white belt, blue belt mistakes to be making right there. It's a purple belt is going to fuck you up with that, or a brown belt, and just be like, all right, bro, here we go. So Jimmy Crute, man, he has 4 submissions, 5 knockouts, 3 decisions. Let me just ask you this, man, because clearly I think we're both going Crute on this one. How does he get it done, AJ? Does he submit him? Like, do you think? Here's the worst possible scenario, AJ. He says, all right, I'm going to armbar you or I'm going to Kimura you, really an armbar on that arm that's already fucked up. Do you think he would do such a thing? Do you think that is out of line? Let's talk morals and ethics here. Is that out of line in the fight game?
Nah, man. I think it's one of those same things, as taboo as it's gonna be to say, you see a guy with a knee brace on, you kick him in his knee. Yeah. It's just how it goes. And same thing with Jamal Hill. That arm's a little weak. Well, guess what the first submission attempt's going to probably be? Yeah. And then if you defend that, then we might move on to other stuff. But at the same point, a weakness is a weakness, and you two are going at war. Yeah, I think it's all fair, to be honest.
All fair in love and war, man. And listen, an advantage is an advantage, and it is what it is. Jimmy Crute should be looking to exploit that, man. But I don't know, man. I don't have much else to say, but I think Jimmy Crute steamrolls Jamal Hill in this one, man. But I don't think it's going to be one of those crazy, I'm going to knock you out on the feet. I think he's going to shoot for the takedown. He's going to smash his face in, or he's going to submit him, man. And I really do love the prospect of Jamal Hill. I just think that he's coming back a little too soon from the injury. That's the only reason. If he was healthy, this would be a much different conversation. I still think Jimmy Crute would probably win on the takedowns, but I think it'd be much more of a competitive matchup. Either way, I'm going Jimmy Crute, and I'm going to go the over on 1.5 rounds on this one. AJ, are you going over and under, and how is he getting it done?
Yeah, I'm rocking with Crute as well, and I'm going the over. I'm going TKO round 3. I think it's either going to be that submission or that ground and pound victory. I'm leaning more towards a ground and pound. Honestly, and it's no shame to Jamal Hill, or no clout throw, or no shade throwing or anything. No. This dude, he can get it done, and I like him because his striking is smooth. He's rhythmic. He flows. But just coming back 6 months after that elbow dislocation, we might be surprised, and I hope we are. Well, for my picks, maybe not, but for Jamal Hill, I hope I better he hope that we're wrong on this one, because Jimmy Crute's just an absolute dog. And if Jamal Hill was healthy, this is one of those perfect fights that we would love to see. That striker versus the wrestler, grappler who's able to get it done on his feet as well. It's just such a quick comeback. It's interesting to see.
I'll just say, listen, all respect to Sweet Dreams Jamal Hill for even taking the fight, man, because this is a dude who says, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anybody, whatever. Come on, man. You come off an injury, said Jimmy Crute's next. All right, money, let's do it. Listen, shit, couldn't be me, man. Couldn't be me.